I want to try something with a couple of people, but before I do, I have to tell you, I'm dyslexic. I know, a dyslexic mentalist, it's really a bad thing, but I use all kinds of different systems to help me function. And so most people would never guess that I can't remember names, I can't remember numbers, because I can remember them by using different systems. I have a deck of cards here. I'm going to hand this out to a few people, but I think let's go with, if you'll take these since you're in the front. Can you put your glass down? You're going to need your hands as well. So if you'll take these and cut about half of those off, and I'd like you to do the same thing. Take those, cut about half of those off and give them to the lady there, give those to the lady there. Good, good. Now I'd like you to each to mix your little packets, if you would, for me. Mix them really well. And then I want you to hand your packet when you're done to her, and you're going to mix his packet in with yours, and you're going to mix that packet into that packet. So just hand her your packet, if you will, and just give them a really good mix for me. Good. These are mixed? You mixed them well? All right, so you shuffled yours, you shuffled hers, and yeah, you put them all in there. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Did you mix them all together? And look at them, make sure they're mixed up well. I'll take those from you. Excellent. So 4 people took 4 packets of cards, you mixed them together, and then you mix those 4 packets together to make 2 packets, all right? And so now what I want to do is I'm going to ask you to come up here if you would for me, please. And I'm also going to ask you to come up here if you would for me, please. Okay. I'm going to give you this packet of cards for right now. Just hold on to them. So I think that's about half. And if you'll step over on this side, I'm going to give you this packet of cards as well. As I speak, I want you to go through your packet. I want you to separate it into different suits, okay? So don't let me see the cards, whatever you do. So you might want to move back just a little bit. And then if you get even more time, what I'd like you to do is separate them into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever cards you actually have. So it'll make it easy for you to locate those cards. Meanwhile, I'm going to take this packet right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask, is there anybody here that has a cell phone that has a stopwatch on it? Anybody? A timer? You do? Do you have your cell phone on you? Would you take that out for me, please? And I'd like you to go to the stopwatch because you are going to time me in just a second. So let me know once you're there. So what you're going to do is you're going to time me, and every 5 seconds you're going to say 5, 10, 15, 20. And what I'm going to try to do is memorize these cards, all right? So go ahead and just go ahead and tell me when to go.
All right, start. 5. 10. 15. 20.
Stop. Take those for me, please. Okay. And would you sort those out into suits and hold it up so that I can't see them anymore? And then if you get a chance, put them in numerical order, but do the numerical after you do the suits, if you would, for me. So as I said, I use different systems. In a deck of cards, what I would simply do is I would take, say, let's say we're going to go with the aces. Aces are 1s, all right? So I think of 1 as being a gun. To me, 1 rhymes with gun. So if I was going to go with the ace of hearts, I would imagine that I'm actually shooting myself in the heart and blood is spurting out all over the place. If it's an ace of diamonds, I might imagine I'm holding the gun, but I can't get a really good grip on that gun because the diamonds are very, very sharp. They're cutting into my hands. The more dramatic I can make it, the better. Maybe the gun is a murder weapon. I'm taking a spade and burying it, so that would be the ace of spades, all right? And the ace of clubs, maybe I'm taking it and I'm firing it, and there's a club, a golf club coming out, and it's hitting my enemy in the head. Could be a politician I don't like. It could be an ex-wife. It could be any of those things, all right? But something that's really dramatic for me. If it's a 2, then I think 2 rhymes with shoe, right? So 2 rhymes with shoe. So what I do is I imagine that the shoe has a big heart on it, okay, a big bow on it. Maybe if it's to a diamonds, then I think of the Paul Simon song, Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes, where she's walking, but I imagine there's a trail of diamonds coming out from her shoes as she's walking along. 3 is a tree, 4 is the floor in my living room or my kitchen, 5 is diving into something or off something, 6 is sticks, 7 is heaven, 8 is gate, 9 is a mine exploding, 10 is a wren, a little brown bird, a little wren, okay? Now, when it gets into 11, which would be the jack or the queens or the kings, 12 and 13, so it gets a little more complicated. There's a system that I use which is called the mnemonic alphabet. I'm not going to go into it right here. If you want to do that, you can go to Banachek.com or BanachekProducts.com, and you could download the memory system, all right? And that'll teach you all about those. But just so you know, 11 becomes tit, yes, abreast, I know, but that actually helps me because the more visual it is, the more absurd it is, the better, all right? And 12 becomes a tine, like a tine on a fork, and 13 becomes time. Are you good? Good. So step back this way, just behind me, just a little bit. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. I only memorized half the deck, right? But the thing is, if I know what's in that half, I should know what's in that half. Because I didn't make an association for this half. All I did was made an X. I didn't try to memorize them in order. That would have been a lot easier because I can associate each card with the next card. So what I'm going to be doing is even more difficult. I hope this works. Do me a favor. Would you call out any one of the suits?
Let's do clubs.
Clubs. So take a look and spread out the clubs so you can see those. And if I call out your card, I want you to drop it so it goes to the floor. Clubs. Clubs was a fairly easy one. I believe you have the ace. Take it out, please. Throw it to the floor. You have the 2. You have the 3. You also have the 4. I didn't see the 4. I did see the 5. Oops, you threw 2 out. So I also saw the 6. I saw the 7. And I saw the 8. Did not see the 9. You have the 9. You have the 10. You have the jack. You have the queen. Didn't see it. And I didn't see the king. Yes. All right. Good. Thank you. Call out a suit. All right, it's going to go a little bit quicker. Be careful with the flourishes because I want you to throw more than one card out, okay? So let's go with hearts, all right? So I believe you have the ace, you have the 2, you have the 3, you have the 4, the 5, also the 6. You had the 7. I think you had the 8 and the 9. I believe that you had the 10, the jack, the queen, and you had the king. What do we have left? We have spades and diamonds left, all right? So call out a suit.
Diamonds.
Diamonds. I think you had the ace and the 2.
Yep.
I believe you had the 3. You had the 4. You also had the 5. Yes. Okay, so you had the 6. You had the 7 and the 8. You had the 9. The 10. You had the jack. Mm-hmm. You had the queen. I believe you had the king.
Yep.
All right. One suit left. So we have spades left?
Yep.
All right, so spread those out. Let's go and see how quick we can go, okay? I believe that you have the ace, the 2, the 3. You have the 4. You have the 5, the 6. You have the 7, the 8. You have the 9, 10, jack. You have the queen.
Yep.
And you have the king. And,
oh,
wait, you have one left? Got to be a joker.
It's joker.
Give him a round of applause. Thank you very, very much. Give them both a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you very much.